Hi, and welcome to Council Recap, where we take the content of City Council meetings and give you the breakdown. I'm Laura McKay. Let's get started. There were a couple presentations on the agenda this week. Laura Herrera from the LA County Clerk's Office gave a presentation about the new voting experience in Los Angeles County for all registered voters. The new VSAP solution will now give voters several options for where, when, and how they cast their vote, as well as starting new electronic ballot books. Next, Interim City Manager Arnie Shadbeer introduced Police Chief Michael Ishii, who presented some members of the city's task force. The chief also discussed some of the great work the group has been doing in the city to help keep residents safe. There were a few resolutions on the list this week. First, Council approved Resolution 8163, which says Council will give notice to the general public that an election is coming. On this current municipal election, citizens will select a mayor and 2 council members, along with a ballot measure relating to a cannabis business tax for the November 2020 election. Resolution 8164, Council approved the City of Hawthorne to acknowledge and proclaim the month of February as Black History Month. The city joins the rest of the country in celebrating the achievements and contributions of African Americans to the United States through culture, science, education, music, social justice, and much more. Resolution 8165, Council said yes to establishing a gift and donation program for several different events and programs throughout the year in the city. Those programs are things like Earth Day and the Service Provider Fair, the Veterans Recognition Event, World Fest, and the Hawthorne Business Expo for 2021. Last on the list is Resolution 8166. The city approved the transfer of the parking title for the Hawthorne Mall site to the Charles Company in order to help move future development along. Now, there is a stipulation to this. The Charles Company must keep up the guidelines the city's imposed, or they'll continue to accumulate fees. In the public hearing portion of the meeting, Council approved an amendment to the 2019-2020 Annual Action Plan that will be submitted to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD. Next, there was only one item on the ordinance portion of the meeting this week. That was Ordinance 2196. Council heard it's the first reading on making some changes to Hawthorne's municipal code for sponsoring or hosting events at the airport, including filming and food truck events. Moving on to the city manager's consent calendar, Council approved the filing of the 2019-2020 mid-year budget report after Finance Director Felice Lopez gave a brief presentation reviewing the city's current budget and financial condition. Council also approved progress payment number 11 to Zumar Industries for supplying signage and associated hardware. And lastly, the purchase of an AC unit for City Hall's basement server room was approved and authorized for the Director of Public Works to proceed in getting and installing it. On the City Attorney's consent calendar, 3 claims were denied. Well, that's all from the meeting this week. Thank you so much for joining us for Council Recap. Remember, you can watch all the council meetings in their entirety by going to www.youtube.com and searching for Hawthorne Community Television. We'll see you next time.